Awo, Shalom, and Rastafari. Welcome to this first episode of our Rastafari Codes, with your host, I in their name, Baruchu one in their name. Give thanks and give praises to the Almighty Yahweh Eloheinu, Baruchu Igazabihir. And actually also what we want to do is this Torah portion for today. The Torah portion for this segment or this part is the 24th, which is the 24th kiful here, right? 24th kiful. Actually, this is the last Torah portion, but the Torah portion we're starting on because we're going here, and we like to go into Rastafari Renaissance, and the review the prior kiful, or the kiful for the week, being that this is the first day of the Hebrew, and the Hebrew calendar is said to be the Hebrew New Year this day. All right, and we'll go and also show that here on the Hebrew for Christians here. It says here, we see this right here, it says Leshana Toba, or the, if you will, Leshana, the new, right, the new Ethiopia, or Leshana Tob, the new year, but new Ethiopia. And it kind of reminds me what His Majesty means. He says, we must become a new race. When His Majesty says that, because there's others that say it, and they interpret other things when they say this. They don't interpret exactly this, but we want to give blessings and give thanks. And what we're utilizing here today as Rastafari, as true Rastafari, in and through Iyesus Kristos and the Qedamawi Haile Selassie. What we seek to utilize today is the reason why Ishans, or the proper use of herb, right, of the holy herb, is the new sacrifice, and it's not the old sacrifice. In fact, ones give a certain type of sacrifice, and they get what they receive is the water blessing, but they don't receive that fire blessing, which is the ultimate sacrifice. If you don't utilize the Ishans, or you don't utilize what they call marijuana, smoke spiritually and give praises and give thanks using what they call marijuana, then you probably give your prayers with, you give them with nothing, but it doesn't mean nothing, because first and foremost, before we can utilize a thing, or the Ishans or the marijuana, we have to understand that these things first start within our own spirits and our own souls. So we have to be given the goodness, the fat of our spirit to Yahweh, and letting We give thanks and praises in and through Iyesus Kristos and the Qedamawi Haile Selassie Rastafari. Amen, amen. Now, the most important thing that we want to delve into on this subject matter is we were looking at the word eat. And if you run the definition, right, of the word eat into the Hebrew Strongs, if you will, the Hebrew dictionary, the first word that comes up was, to breathe. To breathe. But actually, well, this is dealing with the letters EAT, which are in the word actually to breathe. And it kind of reminds me of ETH, as in Etia, but that's another subject matter, and we don't want to dwell out of this one. But coming to this word right here, when we dwell on the word eat. Now, we don't, what we did was the letters brought forth this word feather right here, and which we found interesting because the word feather actually is ebra, ebra, or ebre, or ebre, you know what I mean? Or ebre. Hold on, let's see if we can go back to the ebra real quick. Oh, we need to go forward to it. No, well, let's go back here. Let's pull it up. Yurgurta, or slika, brothers and sisters. We give the eye a moment. I want to pull up this word right here. God bless. Give thanks and praise and praises. Numbers 21. But we want to look up the word water in the word ebra. That we find very interesting. I guess it's H84. Find interesting. I guess it didn't want to come up like that, so we'll go and bring it up here really quickly. But it's H84. For ebra. That's 184. Awa, to extend or mark out or point out. Awa, to point out, but that's not the word that we were locating. The word that we are locating is ebra, because ebra, which is interesting because it reminds us of the name Eber, which is the first name known, as for the Hebrews, or Eber, the father of all those who became Hebrews, Abraham. So, but now, and this word is ebra, which is feather or wing, right? Which is feather or wing. And in this word ebra, we went back a step. We seen Eber, and it said opinion, which we found very interesting, as a righteous opinion. But we want to go even farther back, and we seen this Abba. Now we went a little bit further back, and we noticed that you get to Abaka, Abakwa, like Ibakwon, like Habakkuk, but it reminds of Habakkuk, but Ibakwon, like Habakkuk's name. But that is not what we were dwelling into. But what we want to understand is that going back further, we see the qua sound comes at the end. So we notice that the R, the Re, or the Abba, Re sound. Now, why we say certain thing like Re, and sometimes we don't necessarily say Ra, because Ra may not be, in that pronunciation coming from the Holy Spirit, and the blessings of Iyesus and the blessings of the Hebrew. The word Ra it's only meant to be said at certain times. When you understand the certain sayings of certain words like Roi, or Re. So the word Ra, meaning evil, it's only meant to be displayed or said at certain times. But the reason that there's the difference that's unnoticed is because it's in the way the words are spelled. So if you look in the English of Abar, you have Abar, but if you look into the Hebrew you have the Ah sound, the Beh, and the Re. Now, this is something that we want to make a note to and tell all the brothers and sisters that when you are studying the Hebrew words, you'll take notice that they do start to have an effect on your spirit and your soul. I just want to let you know that. And some of the words may even start to, when you look at the meaning, when you find the meanings of some of these words and you start thinking, some of them may even have similarities to some of the slang that the black peoples have, or the Ethiopians, the black brothers and sisters, so-called niggas and stuff like that. You know what I mean to say. But there's a lot to be said about that, because there's a lot of mysteries within mainly that race, aside from all others, is coming to an understanding of rooted points. There's a lot of rooted points about this race, so-called black peoples, that's not scientifically understood, or been lied about, or been covered up, and these points have not been gotten to. So when we look at the words being the science system of Rastafari, or being a science system of the people, the Hebrew, the scientific system of the people, and we'll make we'll make a worthy note of that. We'll make note of that. But this word Abba-Re, interesting. We want to listen to pronunciation, so when we say things like Abba-Re, the Abba-Re, the Father's vision. I like Father vision, Abba-Re. Right? So, but Abar here means to fly. And the reason that we make note to point at these certain type words, because they also make reference for us to think about other certain words, such as words that are in the Gohim, words that are in the good Gohim. A lot of times, you'll probably see I give I a second. It's good to have, a good picture. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have you a good picture of the Gohim, or the gospel of His Imperial Majesty. The gospel of His Imperial Majesty, this book. But interestingly enough, we want to go and we will show that picture. We want to go show that picture of the gospel of His Imperial Majesty. But before we get there, let us finish up a little bit on this study. Oh, wow. Yahweh, God bless. It popped up. There we go. It's right there. Ain't that something? And that the Holy Spirit did that, because the site is live and the pictures are constantly moving. How did it know to be there when I clicked to the site? God bless, and give thanks and give praises if one does amen, admit or know that the Holy Spirit is the truth. All of us, the Holy Spirit is. I don't even know how to explain that. I mean? That's something that can't. I'm just a man, You know what I mean? I don't have no effects on these things. I'm not doing it. It's a spirit that we all have within us, and if we use the good applications, we'll be able to utilize these spiritual natures, and then we'll be able to overcome all the obstacles that are in our way when we understand what is our true way. We give thanks and give praise, and give blessed thanks and give praise. Rastafari. So we'll start off here. We'll stop here where the segment ends here at Abba Re, which is to soar, right? Is to fly. God bless, to soar or to fly. And it makes us think of the word Eber, and the word Hebrew meaning river crosser, right? And the name Igazir Abihir, which is the ultimate name of the Almighty. Because we have Yahweh, we have Jah, right? Yahweh, we have the Son and the Holy Spirit, Yahweh. We have Jah, the most vehement of the triune God. And then we have the Ha Elohim, which is the title of that triunity. And then we also have Egizia Behil. So Egizia Behil, which is the Mistale, the last day name. So, it's the first day name, but it's the last day name, because all in between they strive, and many more than likely did not know that name. And those ones that did know the name, it was a revelation revealed to the Spirit. There's a reason that we know the name Egizia Behil, or that we live in a time period where we can know the name Egizia Behil, or even the name Jah. And blessed may be Yahweh, because Yahweh has been there for a really long time. The Son and the Holy Spirit chastising the people for generations to get them ready for the day of the Adonenu, that day and time. So we give thanks and we give praises. It's the first episode of Rastafari Codes. God bless, give thanks, shalom, Yeshua shalom, and amen.